Okay, guys, so this is an exciting session we're going to have now with Regina and myself, and we're going to show you and talk you through the differences between the three iTeraCare ones, the classic, which most people know, which is this one, then the premium, and the pro. So just to give a rough idea on prices, and I'm going to give US prices. It varies around the world. US is cheaper than, for example, Europe and UK and so on. So if you're in the UK listening to this, do not take these prices, it's more. But for the US, the classic is 350 US dollars. That's that one. And we're going to talk about that in just a second with my gorgeous model, Regina. Okay. So the premium is $1,050. And then the professional is $3,500. So we're going to run through the differences, why you're paying more, and whether you need to pay more. So that's what we're going to do just now. So we're not going to spend too long on the classic because most of you guys are going to already know the classic. But the classic, listen, if you're at home, you bought yourself a classic. You've got a phenomenal wand. It's what I personally have been using until the Pro that you're looking at. I'll just give you a little secret. It's my Pro, right? So I can't get them delivered to Brazil. So Regina is going to fly to Brazil to my home, bringing that beast along with along with some other ones for me. That's the only way I can get them in right now. But anyway, so I've got a classic. Most people that you see in the groups and so on have a classic. That's what they're using. That's what most of the testimonials are coming from, the classic. The classic is absolutely all you need for home use. Okay, but what we're going to do here, and we're going to focus more on the two that you're looking at there, the premium and the pro. What we're going to do is compare the classic to those other two ones. So you can see that the pro is the biggest. It's also the most powerful by some way. So the first thing, Regina, if you could show the size difference between, let's start with the premium and the classic. So show the premium against the classic. You're going to see that the premium is actually the smallest of the three. Okay, so the and the lightest. So the classic is heavier than the premium, which is slightly unusual, and it's certainly quite a bit bigger. The classic has three settings, and the premium has two. So the three settings on the classic, you've got zero, which is off, and then you've got one, two, three. So just to say something about the premium, the premium has just two settings and it doesn't have a cool setting. So the classic position one and two are cool, with either one is high fan and two is low fan, and then the three has got the heat. Okay, and it's quite hot. It's quite hot on the classic. So that's the classic. The premium, the position one on the premium is kind of equivalent to the position three on the classic, right? And then it has a second setting which is hotter than the three. Now, some people that would be too hot. Now, the heat does help with certain things. So, Regina, you had one particular problem on your shoulder, and you said the premium. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that you had been using the classic on it and it helped, but when you got the premium on it, it helped more. Is that right?
When I was using the classic on my shoulder, it helped. To me, I take this is like medicine to me. So when I use this, I had to take it every 4 hours to get relief, which is what they recommend, using, giving yourself 4 hour breaks. So every 4 hours, it wouldn't be intense pain back, but the pain would be back a little bit. When I use the premium on the high heat setting, I can go almost 24 hours without having to use it again, and the pain is not back, and it feels like it's stretching longer and longer. Oh, I will say one thing about the premium is that when you use the hot setting, the high heat setting, it really gets hot, and to protect itself from overheating, when you turn it off, it won't come back on for 5 minutes unless you turn it to the low heat setting for 15 seconds. Let it be on low heat setting for 15 seconds and then turn it off, and then you can turn it right back on again. It won't take 5 minutes to cool down.
Something that people need to understand with the premium, because it will put some people off the premium, because the classic you don't have that. Now the classic if you were to use it on person after person after person in succession, it will also cut off and have to cool down. Okay, so that's something that doesn't happen with the Pro, but it does happen with the Classic. But you can turn the Classic on, do 5 minutes, turn it off, turn it back on, no problem. But with the Premium, you cannot do that. If you turn the Premium on, after a few minutes, if you turn it straight off from the hot heat, it will need time to cool. So you have to go through this process of cooling it a little bit while using before you turn it off if you want to be able to turn it straight back on again. That can be irritating, especially in a clinical setting. It might not be the best unit in a clinical setting for that reason.
I
But
actually find that to be a good feature because I like to end in a cool setting so that they have that cooling, so they don't have all that heat and they can take cooler air around them without
okay,
it affecting the treatment. So I always ended the classic that way.
okay. Now you're an esthetician, right? And that's
Right.
the first time I've ever remembered what you are. You normally have to tell me the esthetician. I don't use that word much, but she's an esthetician. If you don't know what that is, you're stupid. Okay, I'm joking because I didn't know what it was. So what actually tell us what's an esthetician?
It's a person that gives facials, some for specific treatments and some for just relaxation. I do anti-aging, and I use my wand to assist me with wrinkles and for acne. And so I don't want to end it on heat. I want to end it on low heat. That's my personal preference.
Right.
So I would never end it on high heat. So that setting was a good feature for me.
Right. Okay. But it's still worth people knowing that about the premium because for some people they wouldn't like that. Some people would, but it's lighter. It's considerably lighter than the classic, right?
Yeah.
So, some people, if you've got maybe pain and joints and stuff, and you're going to be using it on yourself, and weight is an issue, then you might prefer the premium for that. So now the premium, well, unlike the classic, the premium comes in a nice box, right? So do you want to have a quick look at that box that it comes in? Which means you can keep it. There you go. That's the box. And if you just put the premium down and open the box and show people what because it's a really nice box. It's very professional and it keeps it safe. And if you want to travel, then you can see that is extremely well padded and catered for. So if you want to move around with it, take it from place to place. That is absolutely fantastic. Whereas the classic doesn't. It comes in a cardboard box. Now you've bought a little case. Have you got that little case on hand, Regina? So this is a case that she's personally bought to keep her classic in, and it was fairly inexpensive. It's not got the same padding and stuff that we
But
just
it
saw.
does come with this, and I like this. This particular case comes with this, and I put it inside this, and it actually helps cool it down. It comes with this Velcro bag,
It comes in a bag, right? That box, that
and
particular
then you
box,
just, and then this actually, because it's a little, it's not shorter, but it really touches to the end, but it actually curves to the shape of the
right?
plug at
Now
this
that
end.
was the box you bought, right? It's a hair dryer box of some sort, and you can pick these up. I don't like Amazon at all, but you can find them on Amazon and hopefully buy them somewhere else if you can. But that for about what, $20, something like
Yeah,
that.
bucks.
So you can pick that up for your classic because it doesn't come with a box. I still have my cardboard box. To be honest, it's never been back in it. I have it loose around the house because I'm not taking it out. Okay, so that's the classic and some information on the premium. Now show the premium next to the professional. And I think you already saw from the beginning there's a big difference in size. Obviously, the Pro is heavier. It's much more solidly built. So that's one of the advantages of the Pro. I mean, it's designed for a lot of use. It's not really for home. Obviously, you can use it in the home. I'll be using mine in the home, but it's designed for the professional. Okay, so it's still not heavy. It's heavier, but it's still easy to. You can see the way that
Very
Regina's holding it there, and it's got a nice, comfortable grip on that black part, right? Um,
nice.
in fact, you prefer the grip on the Pro to the Classic.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I prefer the grip on the Pro and the Premium to the Classic.
Right. Okay. So
I like the material of the Classic. I don't know what it is about it, but that metallic material, I don't know. It just does something to my skin.
So anyway, the Pro then has two buttons compared to the two settings of the Premium. The Pro has two buttons that each have three settings. So you've got a total of six settings. What it allows you to do is control the fan independently of the heat. So you've got three fan settings and three heat settings. And then you have little lights underneath which pop up to show you if you're on the, if you know what's going in terms of the heat and the fan. Now, one of the big advantages of the Pro is it has a cold heat. Now, cold heat, although it is less power.
Can you hear that? That's the cold heat setting.
What's that? Oh man.
Cold.
Okay. So the cold setting has a big advantage, and that is that when you have a client, or if you yourself are doing yourself, and you have pins, you have metal implants or breast implants or the coil or something like that, right? Then you really need to avoid those areas with the classic and the premium, okay? Because it is possible that the heat will heat up the metal internally, and that will then cause inflammation inside you, which is the exact opposite of what you're trying to do. Okay, so you want to avoid that. With the Pro, you can use the cold heat even over pins and stuff. So again, in a clinical setting, when you've got people with pins and all the rest of it, it allows you to work the whole body. So one of the things I really like about the Pro then is the six settings that gives you more flexibility. Even though I personally don't use cold much or cool, I prefer the heat because it's more powerful. There are situations where you might want to be using cool or cold in the case of the Pro. My wife, she's got lots of pins in her body because she was in a very serious head-on car crash, and so she's been put back together like a jigsaw. So for her, the Pro would allow me just to work different areas. Now, it's not totally necessary to work every part of the frequency. If you work your right knee, the frequency is still going to get to your left knee, right? That's just like when you drink water, you're not worried, is it going to get here and is it going to get there? It gets everywhere. Okay, so frequency will get everywhere, but it is more powerful if you can direct it to a specific problem area. And if you've got pins, that's a problem area, and it's a shame if you can't direct it. The Pro gets around that. So the Pro then, can we have a look then at the Pro box compared to the Premium box?
This is the Pro box.
Okay, so I'll
And
just say something. This Pro, so I've got to give a bit of background now that I've forgotten about this. Right, so I'm in Brazil and I can't get one shipped here straight up direct. So I'm getting these from the States. The States has a different voltage to the Brazil. So the US has 110, we have 220. So I've had to source a 220 Pro, and it's one of the original ones, and so it's got different stuff written on the box than you would get. So it's all in Malaysian, I think. I'm not sure. I sometimes struggle to tell the difference between Malaysian and Chinese. But anyway, it would look slightly different to this, but the box is basically the same. It's just the writing is a little bit different. So that's the box. So show the two now, the two boxes side by side, and you'll see that the Pro box is quite a bit bigger than the premium box. So let's have a look inside the Pro box, Regina.
then the difference too is like this one just has latches.
Have we looked inside the premium or oh right, okay, yeah. So there's a combination lock on the Pro. The premium doesn't have a lock. It's got nice fasteners, but it hasn't got a lock. So the Pro has got a James Bond kind of lock. It's not really James Bond but it's nice. It's a combination lock. Uh, and then we open that up, and again you're going to see a very nicely padded space that holds the wand in place along with the electrical wire and plug.
Got really sturdy latches on the back of it to make sure
Okay,
that
that's nice. Yeah.
yeah.
So it's a really nice case. Um, so okay. So we've seen the cases, we've seen the three side by side. Is there anything that you think that I've missed that we could that hasn't been covered?
No, I think I saw a video that you did earlier about the water, and I really appreciated it. The water settings, you can do the cool setting, hot setting, warm setting. It's gonna give the frequency to the water, no matter what setting you put it on.
Right, right.
People keep asking that question. What setting do you use? I use all three. I mean, on the premium, I use both.
My charged water.
Yeah,
So yeah, you can charge the water straight through the glass, no problem at
the
all.
setting doesn't matter. So if you have a pro, you can use all the settings. If you have a premium, you can use all the settings. It's
So when
gonna
you
give
get really
you
professional, what you do is what Regina does. She has a classic specifically for her water. That's down here for the water, and then she's using the premium right now for her main use. Okay, I think I think she's really pleased that she's actually got my pro before I've got my pro. Um, um, so there you have it. That's a overview of the main differences that I could think of at the time, anyway, between the classic, the premium, and the pro. As I say, if you're just using it at home on your family, the classic is absolutely fine, but the pro is the Rolls Royce. I mean, if you really want the Rolls Royce, it's you're paying for it. It's like 10 times the price of the classic. It's a lot more expensive, but you're getting a Rolls Royce. So awesome. Okay, then I think that's it. Hope this has been helpful for people. I'm so excited to get my pro. I do have to wait a month. I'm really hoping Regina
not
doesn't.
a month, 17 days.
17 days. She, yeah, but that's enough time for you to destroy it. I don't know. I'm scared. I was planning on not letting anyone touch my pro, but there it is on video. Like, oh, be careful. um, awesome, 17 days. So I'm
Put
going
your hand so that I can play with Ethan's pro.
to. All right. God bless everyone. Have a great day. And if you want a wand, and this is depending on where you see this video, there'll be maybe a link below to connect with me or Regina, or if it's in a group, then just ask for a link, and we will provide you with a link. And you can have your very own. All right. Bye bye.